Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to welcome the first speaker. He is Mr. Goh Keng Wee from Hokkaido University. He will deliver the speech under the title of The Challenges Facing Efforts to Fight Against Global Warming. The challenges facing efforts to fight against global warming. Then Mr. Goh, please come up to the center of the stage.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Good afternoon, Chairperson, Honorable Judges, Questioner, and friends. Earth, the motherland that has nurtured all living things in existence ever since its formation, including us, Homo sapiens, the species with a population of 7 billion. Our mother has provided us with essentially everything we require. Our water comes from her gushing rivers, crops from her fertile lands, minerals from her bountiful undergrounds. Sadly, she is now sick. You might have already grown tired of hearing the term called global warming, which is the increase in the temperature of the Earth. However, this term bears repeating, for it is the phenomenon that is caused by us, exacerbated by us, and it will eventually threaten the very existence of us. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, more factories have been built, which have pumped much greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The invention and widespread of the automobile only worsened the situation. Our increasing demand for food resulted in farmers having to raise the supply of meat, producing more methane, a greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gases directly lead to global warming. Ironically, our actions will come to bite us back. Studies by NASA have shown that there has been an increase in the global surface temperature by 0.85 degrees Celsius over the past century, leading to changing weather patterns and thereby reducing the productivity of crops. As a result, food security is threatened in many countries struck by famine. Melting polar caps and the subsequent rise in sea levels have led to disappearing sea coasts and destroyed ecosystems. These could ultimately make Earth no longer viable to human life. This is not fear-mongering. Analysis conducted by professional climatologists have all pointed towards the fact that global warming is very, very real, worsening as the years pass. In fact, it has been predicted that the temperature of the Earth will further increase by 2 degrees Celsius by the end of this century. Many governments and international organizations have called out for greater personal and regional efforts to be put in against the issue. Yet, challengers happen to always act against such efforts. They are denial, apathy, and hypocrisy, respectively. Denial refers to the claim that global warming does not exist. Even if it does, it is never man-made. Capitalist-backed politicians have made marvelous assertions against scientifically proven papers that conclude global warming exists and is caused by the ugly modern lifestyles of mankind. On television, whether global warming is real or not is still an ongoing debate, despite it already being proven as a fact. Such pretension is what prevents much work from moving forward to combat against the worsening issue at hand. However, it is naive to consider denial as the only major challenge. Apathy, which means a lack of concern, is yet another challenge facing efforts to fight against global warming. It is extremely sad to see many people doing nothing to address the problem, despite having an awareness to it. To these people, changing personal habits such as saving electricity does little to nothing to help the Earth. Regionally, developing countries such as China or India prioritize economic progress over environmental protection, arguing that cleaning the atmosphere is something that could be done later. All of which are huge misconceptions and are part of what hinders us currently. Unfortunately, it will still not be sufficient unless the final challenge, hypocrisy, is addressed as well. For instance, it is most ironic when self-proclaimed environmentalist Bill Nye the Science Guy brags about his plane trip with President Obama. Or how about those celebrities who acknowledge that global warming is an issue that must be solved, yet parties on super yachts or private jets? It is even more alarming when you consider the massive amount of publicity these hypocrites receive, projecting their false views to hundreds and thousands of people worldwide. It is without a doubt that we must tackle these challenges immediately. Fortunately, everyone listening in this auditorium right now could achieve it on an individual level. Here's how, in 3 simple steps. Firstly, we must stop the fallacy that global warming is still an issue for debate. Then, recognize that even small lifestyle changes could help save the Earth. Last but not least, put those thoughts into actions. Use public transportation. Switch off electrical appliances when not in use, and recycle your waste products, just to name a few. More macroscopically, state governments must understand the need for immediate recognition of and actions against the problem. The media should only lend their voices to politicians or celebrities after careful screening of their opinions. Every single one of us counts, and if everyone is willing to contribute, there is still hope for Mother Earth. Today, I spoke to you all, not as a politician, not as a scientist, nor a celebrity, but as an ordinary man, a young fool who recognizes that global warming must be solved before it snowballs into a calamity that could wipe us all out. There is therefore no reason for you not to. However, before we even think about channeling any of our efforts into combating the problem, perhaps it is more important to think of the 3 biggest challenges that could obstruct the course of our actions. Thank you.
Then, we will have question and answer session for 4 minutes. Mr. Tamada, please.
All right, Go-san, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
All right, did you come to Tokyo this morning?
I came to Tokyo yesterday.
Yesterday, all right,
Yes.
great. Thank you for sharing your 3 challenges we face in fighting against global warming.
Thank you.
And those 3 challenges are denial, apathy, and hypocrisy. Now, let me start off with the denial. How can you prove that the recent increase in the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere has been caused by human activity?
Well, to answer that question, there have been a meta-research, a research on research about global warming that concludes 96% of scientists believe that global warming is man-made. And that's why I believe that the increase in temperature of the Earth is caused by man.
And who said that?
Well, the meta-research was conducted by this organization called the United Nations.
All right. The second question is about apathy. And I think the best question about this theme is, if you look at China, you've seen the recent news, what is going on in China. And the Chinese government seems to me that it is very apathetic about global warming. How can you persuade them to think more about global warming?
Well, as I've mentioned in my speech, I'm an ordinary man, so of course I cannot go to a government official of China and persuade him or her to do so. But what I can do is to start to start actions such as, I can start up campaigns on the web and on the social media, which is very useful recently. And I believe that's what I will do to persuade the Chinese government to be less apathetic towards global warming.
Are they gonna listen to you?
Well, I would take another example. Just look at Vermont Senator in the United States, Bernie Sanders. He started off his presidential campaign with a small group of people on the social media, and look how it evolved into today. So I believe that even though I'm an ordinary man, if more and more people join my campaign, I will be able to persuade the government.
All right. And the next question is about hypocrisy. And I want you to argue against what I'm going to say, okay? More and more people started to think that being eco-friendly is fashionable and cool thanks to those celebrities. So it is good. Celebrities may be hypocrites, but it's good because they are contributing to changing the people's thinking for the better. What do you think?
The thing that I feel is that even though these hypocritical celebrities might be spreading the news about global warming to hundreds and thousands of people worldwide, what I believe is that there must still be a moral standard that's upheld by these celebrities. So no matter how fashionable global warming might become, how fashionable to be eco-friendly this might become thanks to these celebrities. Well, I feel that as long as you do something that is against your moral values, you are not being a good role model to these people.
All right, that's all the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but the time is over. Thank you, Mr. Tamura and Mr. Goh.
Thank you.